Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's time for another reading update. I've been moving through some very different books lately, and today I'll talk about the one I just finished, the one I'm currently reading, and the one I plan to pick up next. This mix really goes from classic 80s fantasy to Japanese space opera, so let's get started. The book I just finished was The Wishsong of Shannara by Terry Brooks. The final entry in the original Shannara trilogy. And honestly, I thought it was a bit disappointing. One of the big issues for me was that the story felt too predictable. The beats of the plot followed a very familiar pattern, and there wasn't much that surprised me along the way. I don't mind a classic quest structure if the characters or themes elevate it, but here the characters just didn't stand out. Bryn and Jer Omsford, the two main characters who are meant to carry the weight of the story, felt kind of flat to me. Their powers with the Wishsong should have been an exciting addition to the series, but it didn't really come alive on the page the way I hoped. Compared to the Elf Stones of Shannara, which at least had more of an emotional punch and stronger character moments, Wishsong just didn't land for me. And that leads me to the big takeaway. I don't think I'll be continuing with the Shannara series beyond this trilogy. I know Brooks went on to write a lot more in the world, but this one wrapped up in a way that didn't leave me eager for more. Sometimes you just know when a series isn't for you, and for me this was that moment. That said, I don't regret reading it. The Shannara books are a piece of fantasy history. They were hugely influential and very popular in their time, but they're not what I'm looking for in fantasy right now. After that I switched genres completely and picked up Ambition, which is the second novel in Yoshiki Tanaka's Legend of the Galactic Heroes series. If you're not familiar, this series is a monumental space opera that follows the conflict between the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance. What makes it so compelling is how Tanaka presents both sides as flawed, but at the same time fascinating. The Empire is autocratic and full of corruption, but Reinhardt from Lohengram is an ambitious reformer. And while the Alliance is democratic, it's riddled with inefficiency and self-serving politicians. The first book, Dawn, set up these two central figures, Reinhardt and Yang Wen Li, and Ambition builds on that foundation. As the title suggests, this book really digs into Reinhardt's rise through the Empire, as well as Yang's reluctant but brilliant navigation of the Alliance's messy politics. It's a very different kind of epic compared to something like Shannara. Instead of quests and magics, it's politics, strategy, and the sweep of history. Tanaka doesn't make it easy. He doesn't give you simple heroes and villains, but instead you're constantly weighing the strengths and flaws of both sides, and that's what makes it fun. And even though I'm only part way in, I can already tell ambition raises the stakes. The conflicts are sharper, the characters' choices more dramatic, and the whole thing has that sense of inevitability you get in something like a historical fiction, even though it's set in space. It kind of has that feel. And once I finish Ambition, my next read will be Silverthorn by Raymond E. Feist, which is the second book of the Riftwar Saga. Magician was a massive start to the series, full of wars, magic, politics and interdimensional conflicts. It really had everything, and from what I know, Silverthorn is a more focused, smaller scaled story, especially around Prince Aretha, which was one of the 3 POVs from the first novel. Some people see it as a bridge book between Magician and the later volumes, but I've also heard it's where Feist really starts to sharpen his storytelling. After a huge book like Magician, I don't mind a slightly smaller follow-up, especially if it means we get more character development. I'm really curious to see how Feist balances that shift, because one of the strengths of Magician was how it felt like a complete saga all of its own. But if Silverthorn can expand the world while keeping things tighter, I think it'll be a good continuation. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I finished the Wishsong of Shannara, which I found disappointing, and I won't be continuing the series. And I'm currently working through Ambition, the second Legend of the Galactic Heroes. My next stop will be Silverthorn by Raymond E. Feist. It's been an interesting mix. One series I'm setting aside, and another one I'm eager to continue, and one I'm about to dive back into. And that variety is part of what I love about reading. So anyway, let me know in the comments if you read any of these. Did you feel the same about Wishsong? And if you're a fan of Tanaka's political sci-fi or Feist's classic fantasy, I'd love to hear your thoughts, as always. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video next week.